7, but my name is Eve. Today is February 14th, 2050. It's my birthday. On the way home from school the other day, I found this. I don't know what it is, but it looks fascinating.
We are very pleased to be in your presence.
Very pleased indeed.
We are all members of Schmapple. Schmapple Incorporated.
That's very interesting. You did say Snapple, right?
Schmapple, that's right.
And that's registered.
See, Snapple always loved Apple Computer.
iMac, UMac,
iPod, iPad,
iCar, iCrash.
the App Mall.
I love shopping.
And Apple always loved Snapple.
Blueberry, boysenberry,
Raspberry, strawberry,
lingoberry, mangoberry,
peach.
So we combined our resources.
our intellectual properties.
Our vernacular.
We arrived at
Schmapple!
And here at Schmapple, we aim to please.
We are one-stop shopping
We strive to be everything.
to everybody.
That's very optimistic. See, we want you to enjoy your time.
We want you to take your time.
We want to make sure that you have your quality time.
Well, everybody loves quality time.
And there's no time like the present.
In my spare time, I like to cuddle up with my snuggie and watch old reruns of The Bachelor.
Overshare.
I know.
You see, Principal, today we want to be everywhere.
All the time.
But that's impossible.
Or is it?
You see, Principal Stifler, we are very pleased to inform you.
Your institution has been chosen.
You are worthy.
Really?
I was surprised myself.
Oh my, I'm all aflutter. I know I speak for my whole institution when I say we are very honored to be debuting your new product.
It's exciting.
It's revolutionary.
It's immortal.
It's a product of Generation Immortal.
We call it the Immortal Portal.
But what is the product? What is the device? Do you wear it? Do you swallow it? Another implant? And how do you make it user-friendly? Student-friendly?
Don't worry, Principal. It's very user-friendly.
Very student-friendly.
Leave it to the professionals, Principal Skypler.
We are troubleshooting as we speak.
We will work out all the kinks to make for an easy transition.
It'll be so intuitive.
You won't even know we're there.
It's always hot outside. Someone should on the anti-global warming conditioning.
They're not kidding with this global boiling.
Back in the day, they called it global heating.
And before that, global warming.
I heard back in the day we had something called winter.
Whitner? It was a season.
Seasons.
Global warming sounds so cuddly. We were the appetizer back then.
Today with the main course. What? I'm just saying, it's a little toasty outside.
Attention, please, children.
Attention, class.
Please recite our mantra.
Be yourself, everyone else is taken.
Very good, children.
Now, please access your history files.
Today is, of course, the year 2050, but in our studies during class, we will be traveling back in time.
Ooh. We will be studying a simpler day.
So we can understand our forefathers' motivations,
Their wants.
their needs,
All that made the human species what it is.
and what it isn't.
You see, children,
Things were different just a few decades ago.
the weather was different.
Our society was different.
Time was different.
Yeah, does anybody really know what time it is?
It's right now.
That was deep.
But isn't time the same for everyone?
Yes.
And no.
So I'm half right.
And half wrong. But who's keeping score?
You see, back in the day, people were so plugged in.
That they didn't often recognize their surroundings.
They were so locked up in the virtual world
So busy cultivating their social status.
that their need to be connected was overwhelming.
So, children, it begs the question, what was being lost?
Is this a trick question?
Are we having a pop quiz?
I don't want to learn anymore. My head is full.
That didn't take very long.
I have to download before I can upload. Duh. Sounds like an indigestion issue.
Or constipation.
Children, settle down never.
It's an important question.
If time is the ultimate commodity,
How do we attain more of it?
how do we appreciate it?
That's why recently scientists have been experimenting with borrowing time.
Extending time.
Welcome to the future.
Optimistic, sure, but it's 2050 and we still don't have flying cars. I mean, hello. Hi! But to appreciate the future
We must examine the past.
and the way in which information was assimilated and derived. Didn't kids just plug into the portal?
I love the portal.
The portal is all knowing.
Shall we?
We shall.
Well, yes, children.
Before the portal, students your age
Had something called books.
Books? That word does not appear in my
history.
So what did these books do?
Well, books are a way to share information, to tell a story.
I love stories. Well, then I have a show and tell. On the way home from school the other day, I found this. What is it? What do you do with it? It looks so cool.
Well, it's bound, it opens, and it has pages.
It tells a story.
And it has a beginning,
A middle, and an end. You see, back in the day, students your age had something called reading.
imagination.
Imagine what now?
Sounds like a bore. Actually, imagination is where many great songs, stories, and tales originate.
And for thousands of years, books were the way information was shared.
The portal is a relatively new invention that came out in the last few decades. What did we do before the portal? Apparently not much.
We must have had so much free time.
What did we do with all that free time?
We read books, we told stories.
But back in the old days, things were different.
People were different.
Priorities were simpler.
And we have our own show and tell.
A real treat.
We had enlisted a few volunteers from the retirement home.
They're real old-timers.
And they might have a few stories for you.
This is Maud
And Gertrude,
and Morty.
they're from back in the day. Hello. Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
Yes.
All right then. At the front.
Do you know what this is, kitties? It's the yellow pages.
Yes?
Never heard of it? People used to turn the pages and browse for information and contacts. Imagine that.
Again with that imagine word.
I remember service stations, rotary dial telephones, typewriters. Back in the day, everything made more sense. Everything had a reason. Today, you kids have it too good. Back in the day, we had to walk to the 5 and dime.
Back in the day, we picked up movies from the video store.
Back in the day, you knew who you were and who you weren't.
Back in the day. Back in the
Back in the day, things were harder than you kids have it. You actually had to walk places. You had to think. Today, you kids use telepathy. You can go to the app mall to download an app to relive the past. You ask me, it's a waste of time. If you went outside for once, you'd hardly even be able to identify a bird.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, you had to know. You kids could plug in incredibly young. I can't even feed my cats anymore because they're electronic. We don't even have cat food. You kids wouldn't be able to survive back in my day. You have to imagine to live. You kids aren't living, let's be live for you.
Back in the day. Back in the
everything was hunky-dory and the world was changing quickly. We went from shakes and diners to flowers in our hair and fighting for equality and civil rights.
And somehow we ended up in Vietnam.
And Woodstock.
'Twas quite the spectrum, quite the journey. So, let's talk about civil rights and the March on Washington. How did we get 100,000 people on the Washington Mall?
Didn't we simply brain tweet to all of our followers?
But this was the 1960s. The brain tweet wouldn't be created for almost a century. It was all about flower power, people getting together.
People had to get together?
In groups?
That's nuts.
Can I tell you a story? One of the greatest days of my life. I heard Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. Connect, children.
Faith is taking the first step.
Even when you don't see the whole staircase.
You mean that one?
And you heard it in person?
100,000 people all in the same place.
Ew. So many people.
The human contact.
It must have been so claustrophobic.
It was glorious. It was great to be there. Great to feel a connection. I've never witnessed such a sense of community.
What's community?
Define community.
The perception of similarity to others, an acknowledged interdependence with others.
A willingness to maintain this interdependence by giving to or doing for others what one expects from them.
The feeling that one is part of a larger, dependable, and more stable structure.
But what caused this sense of community?
Well, that was the brilliance of Dr. King. See, he was able to say something, to represent something that made us all feel like we were in it together.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up
And live out the true meaning of its creed.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men
And woman,
are created equal.
yup, that's what it was like back in the day.
The 1990s were an incredibly revolutionary decade for digital technology. Cell phones came of age, but in our efforts to communicate in various ways, we actually began distancing ourselves from interpersonal communication. And from one another, we invented ways not to talk with each other. Do you know what we used to call the connection back in the late 20th century? The World Wide Web. That's right. We originally had what they called a dial-up modem, a means of connecting to the World Wide Web.
Sounds like nails on a chalkboard. What the
Chalkboard.
That's how we got access to info, weather, media. It opened up a whole new ways to communicate that eventually became the connection.
What did we do before the World Wide Web?
Nobody knows. It was a dark time when you had to walk across the street to say hello to a neighbor. Sometimes you even had to knock on a door. That's right. We used to
farmer.
What is a market?
This was before steak came in a tube.
Oh my god, I love tubes!
Quiet! And I remember the first thing I ever read on the World Wide Web. It was about Dolly the sheep. Quiet! 1997, the United Kingdom cloned the first mammal.
Wait, wasn't there always cloning?
Wait, wasn't there always cloning?
Now you're just clowning. They posted a video of Dolly. It took 22 hours to download. So I sat there and watched Dolly the sheep for the first time with my new community, in my new chat room, with 600,000 of my closest friends together, alone.
Generations to use a cell phone. This was an iPhone 36. It had 8G wireless and a 20 megapixel camera, and it made smoothies. But it's a relic now. This was before phones became obsolete and talking became passe.
Wait, people talk with each other over the airwaves?
How quaint.
But then we got the chip.
The chip!
When everything went internal, integrated, and silent, time is used more wisely. But at what cost? Back in 2020, we were at the apex of our social presence in the digital world.
Your real life was where you projected it to be, and who you were
Was not always who you really were.
We were having real relationships with imaginary people.
and popular was the name of the game.
If you weren't trending, you may have well be ending.
And with no real sense of belonging
You could be anybody.
or nobody.
We were so busy laughing out loud.
And tweeting to our timelines.
But we forgot who we were, what we were like, what defined us.
You can like me all you like, but it won't make me really like you.
So, phones became obsolete.
Once, when I was younger, I had this friend who left me a voicemail, so I called at home, so she emailed me in my iPad, so I texted it to her cell, and then she Skyped me on my home account, and the whole thing just got way out of control.
And no one really talked anymore.
We just wanted to be connected.
Yes, but in 2020, attendance offices were replaced by bioscans, lockers became a thing of the past, and yes, even homework was obsolete.
What's
2020 saw the end of books, and for that matter, paper.
So, if you were to give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Well, whippersnapper. There are two things to remember in life, dearie. Number one, don't sweat small stuff. Number two, it's all small stuff.
Today is a great day, children, with two momentous occasions.
I love occasions.
I love birthdays!
When is my birthday?
Every day you're alive is your birthday. I love birthdays.
I love Hanukkah.
And Christmas!
And Thanksgiving.
And Easter.
And Valentine's Day. Today is bigger than all of that, children. Today is your graduation day. And coincidentally, the debut of the latest Schmackle product.
Us, we are so proud of you all.
Today represents a new beginning.
And we have an exciting announcement.
You remember our special guest?
Schmackle has entered the building. Speed up! Make room, big noise, top of the line!
Schmackle coming through, new and improved.
With a brand new design.
But recently, ageologists have been experimenting with living in more than just one time.
In more than one place.
Ah. But that's illogical. I mean, how would you?
Hush, little one.
Yeah, hush. Simply employ an avatar.
I love that old movie.
That one was a classic.
But the special effects were so lame.
See, if you had a body double,
You could really be there.
But you could also be at home at the same time.
The Groovy Man.
2 places at once.
That's what I call multitasking.
My codes and rods are discombobulating.
you better get that looked at.
As your teachers have told you, it's graduation day for many of us.
Now, you know Miss H as your teacher.
She is someone with whom you have been all year long. When she began here, she was very new.
And it's going to be a bit of a surprise.
But in fact, she's a product of our lab.
That's ridiculous. What do you mean?
We mean, Miss H, that you are one of us.
I'm a product?
Calm down, everyone, calm down. See, that's okay, Miss H, because you're graduating too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've known her as H.
But we know her as Beta 59.
And we'd like to introduce you to her upgrade.
I'm seeing double! Wait, I'm confused.
Congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you, I think.
I'm out of the cube. I'm living.
I'm so happy. This is such an honor. So great that we can spend this day together. This is liberating.
You see, kids,
Schmapple has a long history of innovations and experimentation.
we started with the Schmipod.
Then the Schmipad, the Schmimac, and so on.
So, folks, we bring you the latest in a long line of groundbreaking products. We would like to introduce you to you.
You've met Maud and Gertrude and Morty.
Well, these are your clients.
And there are many more just waiting for you to graduate.
You're the ultimate in me time. Gertrude, Maud, Morty. You see, kids, time used to be the one element that technology has not been able to overcome.
Until now. As your client's human body's fate,
You will be employed to take over.
To be and go everywhere they want to go. To experience everything they want to experience.
you see, I am you, and you are me.
The irony. Better than the real you.
You see, child, when you're old, you want to be able to do all the things that you could do when you were younger. All the adventures, all the chapters. I want to do them again. We all do. This will allow me to live forever. You will allow me to go on.
Yes, but the only reason that your memories and your life are so special is because they happened to you. It is because it happened that it means so much. Isn't life supposed to have a beginning, a middle, and an end? Like a book?
Tell me a story.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Gertrude.